Hello, welcome to Yoga with Jess. In this video, I'm really excited to get you restored and rejuvenated through some pranayama breathing exercises and a Yin Yoga practice, where we're going to be holding some restorative postures for a few minutes, really allowing us to get deep into the connective tissue and open up and get more flexible. This video is part of a 30-day yoga challenge that I'm doing on WellnessPLUS. So that full series is available now if you check out the link at the top of the description. When you're ready, we'll start seated on our mat. So make sure you're sitting up nice and straight. I like to sit on a pillow or a cushion so that the hips are lifted up higher than the knees. You can also sit in a chair and just make sure your feet are planted firmly and comfortably on the floor. So whatever you need to do to get into a nice comfortable seated position where the back can stay lifted, we'll bring our shoulders up by the ears and drop them down so the elbows start to tuck in slightly towards the rib cage. And then the hands can either come down on the knees or thighs, or if you'd like to work on a mudra, you can bring the forefinger and thumb together to complete a closed circuit there in the body. So the first one we're going to learn today is Ujjayi breathing. Basically, this is a restriction or constriction of the back of the throat, allowing the breath to become very audible. This is a really popular pranayama used in a lot of yoga classes when we start to lose track of our breath or we're getting too much into our minds, and coming back into the body and into the breath with our Ujjayi breathing allows us to get more present and focused. So we slightly restrict the back of the throat and start to inhale and exhale through the nose, almost creating a sound like ocean waves, or some people say like you're fogging up a mirror, that sound, but with the mouth closed. So it sounds and looks something like this. You may not be able to hear me too well, and it looks like a normal breath, but just note as you're breathing, see if you can get your breath as loud as you can so that if you had someone sitting next to you, they'd be able to hear your breath. So let's close the eyes, start to focus out past the third eye, the point between the eyebrows, like you're looking out to a distant mountaintop. Close the lips, purse the lips together, and start to breathe in and out through the nose with that restriction of the back of the throat. Hearing your breath coming in and out. Imagining it coming in through the nose, traveling down into the lungs, filling the belly, and then making its way back through. You might notice a little heat building in the body. That is one of the side effects of this pranayama. Almost imagining you're on the ocean in a little boat, rocking back and forth with these consistent waves. We'll take 2 more breaths. When you're ready, we'll blink the eyes open. Excellent job. So that's something to keep in mind and practice, our Ujjayi breathing. And now we're going to practice one that we learned on day 8, Kapalbhati breathing. So it's a little more energizing. It's going to build a little more heat in the body and help us focus the mind and reduce anxiety or depression. So just to refresh your memory, the Kapalbhati is going to be forceful contraction of the abdominal wall. So we're going to be sending the abdominals back towards the spine as we exhale very forcefully. And it's inhale and exhale through the nose. The inhale will just happen naturally, so we're just focusing on that strong exhale, trying to get all our stale prana, our stale old air out to make way for new, fresh energy. So again, sitting up nice and tall. If you'd like, you can close your eyes or keep a soft gaze. Let's inhale through the nose and we'll begin on the exhale. Go as forcefully as you can, really using your core strength to contract the abdominals and send them towards the spine. You might start to feel a little burning, like you're doing some ab work. That's a good sign. Keep going. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let it out. Breathing normally in and out through the nose. Just take a moment with the eyes closed and see if you feel any new sensations arising, perhaps some tingling in the body as that fresh oxygen fills the body cells. And perhaps a little lightheadedness. And again, maybe some warmth that we generated internally that might be spreading through the body. As we tap into these sensations, notice that we're not thinking about our to-do list or letting our monkey mind chatter on, but we're actually pretty present, just feeling into our body and somatically being aware of what's going on. When you're ready, blink the eyes open, trying to stay in this place of stillness that we're creating today. So as I mentioned, we've been doing a rigorous asana practice. Today is all about cultivating stillness and staying grounded and seeing if we can stay present, training our mind to come back and focus on the task at hand. So this third pranayama that we're going to practice right now is called bellows breath, or Bhastrika. And I like to think of it, those old-fashioned bellows that we used to use to fan a fire. Think about your lungs and your rib cage becoming those bellows. So this has some slight movement to it. Let's bend the elbows, bring the hands to the shoulders. And as we breathe, we're gonna extend the elbows out to the side and bring them down. So as we lift open, we're really creating that extra space here in the lungs and ribs so that they can expand as wide as possible. Almost like a little chicken dance. And so for this one, we're gonna inhale and exhale through the nose, and this time it's forcefully for the inhale and the exhale. So in Kapalbhati, what we just did, it was a forceful exhale, soft inhale. This one is forceful inhale and exhale. And this one definitely tends to get you feeling a little dizzy, a little high. So just be wary. You might wanna have something comfortable around if you need to lie down or take a break. So let's practice together. Bringing the hands to the shoulders, bending at the elbows, sitting up nice and tall. We'll just begin on the inhale by opening up the elbows, and we'll do a few rounds together. So let's begin. As forcefully as you can. Sitting up nice and tall. As forcefully as you can. Really filling up the rib cage and the lungs to maximum capacity. Do 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax the hands down and just sit for a moment here, nice and still. Breathing in and out through the nose again. Relaxing the diaphragm. I definitely feel a tingling and a little buzz, like we're being zapped with fresh oxygen. That is life, that is energy, this vital life force that we try to get through other unnatural means. This is a very natural way to cultivate that. So just allow yourself to sit in that wonderful feeling for a moment. Relaxing the shoulders, relaxing the face, noticing if there's any tension in the jaw or in the eyebrows. Feel free to take a sigh if you like by breathing in through the nose and opening up the mouth. Let's do that one more time together. Beautiful. And slowly blink the eyes open. Wonderful. So staying nice and relaxed. Now we're going to move into a yin practice. Now Yin Yoga is really awesome. It basically holds some of these restorative postures for longer than you would hold in a normal vinyasa or hatha practice. And by holding these postures longer, it really allows the deep connective tissue to start to unwrap and loosen. So this yin practice really stretches the connective tissue around the joints and allows us to access deeper parts of our fascia or the muscle tissue that's holding on very tightly. And also, the longer we hold these postures, we're training our mind to be present and still and work through any pain or discomfort that's arising. So rather than, I feel discomfort, let me reach for something outside of myself to comfort myself, which we often do with food or sex or TV or any of these creature comforts that we have at our disposal. A regular yin practice will help us just to breathe through that discomfort and know that we can find that ease internally. All right, so let's take any cushion or block padding away from you. And then if you have a block or two, I'd suggest grabbing them. Just grab my blocks real quick. Keep them nice and handy. And the first posture we're going to do is Paschimottanasana, or forward fold, seated forward fold. So if you have a block handy, grab it. If you don't have a block, you could use a cushion or maybe a big fat book or something you have around that you can rest comfortably on. So we're going to place our block in between our legs, just below our knees, and place it at whatever height you think you might need to rest your head on, and we can adjust it as we go. So I'll start on the highest setting here. So sit up nice and tall, still staying in our nice, calm, relaxed state that we just cultivated together. Inhale the arms up overhead. And then exhale, start to hinge at the hips, coming forward, reaching for the feet. If you can't reach the feet, feel free to grab at the ankles or the shins, or maybe use a strap or scarf or something you have at home to grab around the feet with. So I'm going to grab my feet and trying to stay nice and long in our back. Start to use your arm strength to pull down. Now yesterday we did a similar posture, Janu Shirshasana, with one leg. This is a similar fold, but just with both legs out. Now I have my block a little too close to my face. We want to have it so that we can rest our forehead on it nice and comfortably. So adjust it as needed. And then allow your weight to just fall into the block as you use your arms to start to pull the upper body a little closer towards your legs. You should start to feel an amazing stretch along the backside of the legs, the hamstrings and the calf muscles. And you'll notice if you pull on the outside, on the pinky edge of your feet, you'll feel a little stretch in the IT band as well. So this is a little high for me. I was just trying to demo. I'm going to bring us down to the next setting. And again, adjust accordingly. Do what works best for you. And the thing about these yin postures, we want to get settled and then sit for a moment. Allow your body to feel what's going on and make all the proper adjustments so that you can really relax and get into the pose. We want to wait and allow for our bodies to send us any signals. If something feels too tight or is possibly going to tear, we need to listen and pay attention to that. Or if we feel at ease and our body's telling us we can go a little deeper, then maybe start to pull and stretch a little deeper. But it's really important to have that kind of constant check-in with our bodies in these yin postures. So don't be hasty. Don't feel like you need to rush into anything. What's going to allow us to get to those deeper levels of fascia is by sitting and waiting and then slowly dipping deeper into the posture. So you'll notice the longer we hold, the more your body starts to relax. And you can think about if there's a certain area right now that feels tight, maybe the quads or the hamstrings, maybe the low back. Just send your focus and your energy there, and then think about releasing and relaxing the muscles around that spot. And as you think about that, the body tends to respond and loosen. If your forehead's on a block or a book or cushion, really put your weight into it. Allow your head to get heavy. And always remember to breathe. Nice deep breaths. Keep breathing. We're going to hold each of these yin postures for about 2 minutes. It is recommended to hold between 3 to 5 minutes if you can, but for beginners, a little bit less time. So I'm going to do a little happy medium, around 2 minutes. So when you're practicing at home, you can set a timer if you like, so that you don't have to think about it. And just wait for the timer to go off and know that you held the posture for X amount of minutes. And see, already I'm feeling a lot deeper in this pose. I'm going to move my block onto the lowest setting. With every inhale, see if you can grow a little longer in your spine. And then with every exhale, allow your body to relax and drop a little deeper. I've mentioned before sending breath to areas of tightness, but if you like a visual to accompany that, you could also think of your breath as a ball of light. And as you breathe in that ball of light, it comes into the lungs and then can go into any part of the body where you feel discomfort. And so that light is warm and it's energizing, and it allows that muscle or that area to start to release and become untense, like a big hug. Last breath here. Feel free to stay longer and pause this video if you'd like to hold the posture a little longer. And when you're ready, let's release the grip and then slowly roll all the way up to a nice, comfortable seat. Now remove the block out from under you. Let's place the hands by our side and just sit up nice and tall, maybe a little back bend here, counter stretching that big forward fold. And then release. Our second posture that we're going to do is a supported bridge pose. So we've already practiced bridge before, but this time we're going to use a block underneath our sacrum, or a book or cushion or whatever you're using. So, set up for bridge, bend the knees, and come onto your back. Again, staying in that nice still place of relaxation, really allowing the body to rejuvenate and replenish and restore. Now grab your block or cushion or book or whatever you're using and place it under the sacrum. So I would start at the lowest height to begin. And then just like bridge, we're gonna allow our shoulders and neck and face to relax. And just start to breathe into this posture, feeling your low back supported by the block. Close your eyes and start to let go. you can experiment with whatever height of the block works best for you. The most restorative and relaxing would be to be on this lowest setting. But if you'd like to pump it up a little bit and come onto the medium setting, just making sure the block is right in the middle, resting comfortably on your sacrum. And then just allow your body to really get heavy, so you're pressing into the block, feeling a nice stretch and extension in the spine. A lot of times when we have bad posture or we're seated for a long period of time, our sacrum is very affected by that. This is a really nice yin restorative stretch to just release any tension and again just stretch into that connective tissue down by the sacrum. While we're here, I invite you to revisit your intention in doing this 30-day challenge. The first day, we imagined a feeling state that we'd like to cultivate, whether it was joy or inspiration or peace of mind. Maybe it was a combination of a lot of things. See if you can revisit that feeling right now as we rest and rejuvenate. Imagine that feeling state filling your body and what it would look like, how your body would look and how your face would look if you felt that way. And then maybe take a quick inventory over the past 13 days and notice if you felt that way at all thus far. If so, wonderful. You're right on schedule. If not, try to see if you can bring that attention back to that feeling state. Maybe put a post-it on the wall or make a little sign or collage, something that you can visually look at while you're in and out of your yoga practice as a nice reminder for where you want to go and the goals that you'd like to reach. Take another breath or two here, and just to show you, if you like, the highest setting, what it would look like is coming onto the block, still keeping it at the sacrum, and just coming a little higher onto the shoulders here. It's a bigger stretch on the back, but honestly, it feels a little too much, like we don't really want to be working here, we want to be relaxing. So I'm going to bring it back down to the medium setting. You could also allow the knees to fall in and touch, maybe spreading the feet out a little bit wider if that feels good to you. And just making sure the shoulders are nice and relaxed. Sometimes we tend to pinch them up underneath us, so just relaxing them down onto the mat here. Coming back to a nice deep breath in and out through the nose. Maybe practicing your Ujjayi breathing if you like. Final breaths here. And then, as you're ready, let's remove the block. Bring the hips back down to the mat. And let's hug the knees in, maybe rocking left to right, massaging the low back and the muscles surrounding the spine. And then when you're ready, let's take a gentle rock and roll up to a seat. Let's leave our left leg where it is, and then just swoop the right leg around to come into pigeon. So press into the palms to lift the hips up and square them off to the front of the mat. And just feel your way into the hips. They might be a little tight. we haven't really warmed up. You might need to bring your heel a little bit closer in at first to get up nice and tall on the hips. And then when you're ready, on an exhale with a flat back, start to drop down towards the mat, maybe coming onto the forearms or dropping all the way down. You can also take your block and place it under your forehead. And just allow the arms to relax. You can keep them out in front of you or bring them by your side if that feels good. I'm going to keep mine out in front. And then if the block isn't necessary, you can also bring your forehead all the way down to the mat. So we're going to hold this posture again for a minute or two. And just really allow yourself to get heavy and slow down. Oftentimes, that's really a big challenge for us. We're very go, 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 trying to be productive and getting rewarded for the more things that we can accomplish and the next best thing we can do and reaching that higher level. And there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes it sends our nervous system a little bit out of whack, where we have trouble sleeping, we have trouble relaxing. And so see if this is difficult for you to stay still and just relax into these postures. And notice if that's an area that you might need to address and work on a little bit. As you sit deeper into this posture, you might find that you need to move the heel a little bit away from the groin to stretch a little bit deeper into the outer hips and glutes. So just constantly evaluating and adjusting and allowing yourself to sink deeper with every exhale. Nice deep breaths here. So we store a lot of emotions in our hips. So as we stretch them out, a lot of times we feel this anxiousness or this tension start to come up to the surface, almost like a feeling of panic. See if you can breathe through that sensation. And anything that is arising, just notice it without judgment. Maybe they're stored beliefs or ideas or feelings that have been kept up inside your hip area, and now they're coming to the surface. That's a beautiful detox. Just embrace it. Again, notice if you're holding any tension in the jaw or the face. A lot of times we scrunch up when we feel this kind of stretch and pressure. Relax fully. So again, feel free to stay as long as you like. The longer the better, really, to get as deep into the pose and get into that connective tissue. But when you're ready, slowly press into the hands, start to lift yourself up. And then pressing into the hands, let's tuck the back toes, slowly lift the hips high, coming into a down dog, and then shake that leg out if you like. Maybe rotating the hips in some circles, or straightening the leg, opening up the hip to the side if you like. Whatever feels good. The leg might have fallen asleep. And then just meeting back in a down dog, stretching out the calves. And then on your inhale, we'll lift the right leg high and send it on through for pigeon on the other side. So again, getting nice and settled first, sitting up tall, feeling into the hip sockets. And then when you're ready, with a straight back, slowly lower all the way down. And you can also hang out in the forearms here if you don't want to come all the way down to the mat. I'm already feeling a really deep stretch. and I feel supported by the floor on my forearms. So if you want to stay here, just allow your neck to relax. Just breathe into this posture. And take whatever variation you like. Again, maybe coming onto the block with your forehead, or all the way down to the mat. Notice where the mind has drifted off to and see if you can bring it back to the bodily sensations arising, and to your breath. Now, once again, the benefit of holding some of these postures for a long time, along with all the physical benefits, is that we're really training our mind to be skillful in handling difficult situations. So rather than turning to that comfort zone, like I mentioned earlier, we have to sit in the discomfort, knowing that we're only here for a short while, and as we breathe through it, the discomfort will start to lessen, and then eventually won't be there at all. Skillfully maneuvering so that outside and off the mat, we can use these same techniques with our mind to deal with difficult situations. So just as important as toning our body and feeling physically good in our yoga practice, it is equally, if not more important, to train our mind muscle. Continue breathing, nice deep breaths. And as you move deeper, noticing if you can adjust so that you can allow the body to stretch and get a little deeper. It's just a really good opportunity to check in with yourself and just see patterns. When the mind starts to wonder, where does it go? Are you thinking about what you're going to do later? Are you replaying a past conversation you might have had? Do you have a song stuck in your head? Just an opportunity to know yourself and see where you go. One more round of breath here, and again, feel free to pause the video and stay as long as you'd like. And when you're ready, we'll start to press into the hands, lifting back up. Tuck the back toes, lift the hips high, nice and slow. Oh, and free that leg. Just stretching it out, doing whatever you need to do to bring some life back into that leg. Maybe some creaks and cracks. And then coming back, downward facing dog. Let's spread the knees wide, press it back, child's pose, just for a moment. Taking nice deep breaths in and out. And then when you're ready, let's walk the hands back, slowly round up to a seated position. Well, I hope you enjoyed this introduction to Yin Yoga and pranayama breathing exercises. I encourage you to practice over and over and maybe hold a little bit longer each time, kind of testing out what feels good and getting into these postures in a deeper, more advanced level. If you liked this video, please subscribe to the Psychetruth channel. I'd love to hear your feedback and comments below. And this is part of our 30-day yoga challenge that I'm doing on WellnessPLUS. So that full series is available now, and you'll see the link at the top of the description. You can also visit me on my website, cominghome.com, where you can learn about my yoga practice and other stress and depression reducing techniques that I have. It was a pleasure practicing with you today, and I hope to see you soon on your mat. Namaste.
With hundreds of videos that you can stream on virtually any device to help you reduce stress, lose weight, or just improve your health and well-being overall. At WellnessPLUS.tv, we are dedicated to helping you on your health and wellness journey. Join WellnessPLUS.tv to find hundreds of videos to help you improve the health of your body and your mind. WellnessPLUS.tv. Get well, feel better.